Hi, I am Sue Mons, and I am going to go over just the basic structure of the ICD-10 CM coding book. So if you want to grab your Cracking Your Code book supplemental material and follow along, I'm just going to briefly go over the structure of your code book and give you some good information on how to personalize your code book for easy access when assigning codes. So we're going to start in the very front, and as you notice, there's a table of contents. So you're going to want to review your table of contents, and then we're going to move on, and I'm just going to quickly go through the different sections of your coding book. The history of the ICD-10-CM is explained, if you would like to read over that. And then in the very beginning, it's very important that you take the time to read what punctuation stands for in the coding book, general notes, inclusion terms, exclude notes, and so forth, because these are terms that will be used throughout the coding book in the alphabetical index and in the tabular list. Also, there are examples and symbols that you need to learn. If you would take a moment to read those and understand what all of those symbols do mean, because they are used very frequently out within the ICD-10 coding book. Then we're going to go to your general coding coding guidelines. And that is broken up into 3 sections. You have section A, which are just some general ICD-10-CM coding guidelines, how to use the tabular list, how to use the alphabetical index. Then the general coding guidelines, or how to report a principal diagnosis, what is acute versus chronic, what's a late effect. You need to take the time to really read through these pages. And then third, but not last, are the coding guidelines that are specific for each chapter by body system in the ICD-10-CM codebook. There are 21 chapters. Each chapter specifies on a certain body system within the book. So if you note, I am starting to tag certain areas already in my coding book. I have tagged coding guidelines. And then I went and tagged my alpha index. This is where you will be looking up your main term in order to assign an ICD-10 code. The next section you should probably tag is called the neoplasm table, the table of chemicals and drugs, your external causes index you need to tag, and then we are going to go into your tabular list. Once you have looked up a main term in your alphabetical index, you always verify that term in your tabular list for future guideline information. So, and what I have also done is, since there are 21 chapters, I have actually tagged each chapter with a tab so I can easily go from the alphabetical index to the tabular list. And now all of the chapters begin with the letter A through Z, except for the letter U. You will also note, and I want you to really take the time to do this, before each chapter, and you can see it here on chapter 1, before you get into actually where the codes are listed, you are going to see some specific coding guidelines for that chapter. And I have addressed and helped you follow along in the Cracking Code in Your Book supplemental material how to locate the main terms, how to verify the code in the tabular list, and how to use the symbols in addition to assigning the code. And then you will note in the very back of the book, which is very important, and I need to tag this myself, but this is a great area of illustrations of different parts of the body, your anatomy and physiology. And for any kind of terms or abbreviations or notes, you need to start learning to write notes in this illustrated area for your future use. There is no way impossible that you can remember everything off the top of your head, especially as a brand new coder. And in the very back there are several blank pages that you can also utilize to write notes. So that is the conclusion of just going over the basic structure of your coding book. You need to take your time, read the very beginning of your coding book with the supplemental material from Crack Your Coding Book that I have provided for you, and get started. Thank you.